Okay, so today we're going to see the performance optimization with React. So there are different options for performance optimization that React offer. It's Memo, useMemo, and useCallback. And see with a real example what is the problem and how we can solve those problems basically. So let's create a new app with npm create Vite and the latest version of it. So let's do create React opti. Let's do this opti. Let's select React. I like to use TypeScript, so let's use TypeScript, but otherwise you can use JavaScript as well, it will be the same. I like to use also Yarn, it's just my own preference, so don't worry about this. Now let's open in the IDE. And so we're going to first install it, so let's see on the main. We can see it's underlined in red. That's normal because we haven't installed anything. So yarn install, I'm going to use it. Here we go. So now I'm going to reopen the page here, and you can see everything is correct and not red underlined. So everything okay. Now we're going to use, I'm going to rename this dashboard actually. So we're going to create a dashboard page. Okay, very simple page. I mean, just for the purpose of the demo. And I'm running this app.tsx with dashboard.tsx. So if I execute here, we can see it should work already. So yarn run dev. We have this demo page, but we are not interested in keeping everything here. And we also need to rename this function. Function dashboard. And here I'm going to remove all content. The section, okay. We're going to create just h2 with a dashboard for now. Okay, and then here as well, indeed the export will be dashboard 2. We don't need this. Okay, we don't need anything here. We don't need anything. We'll add it later. Okay, we have this dashboard page, very simple. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a countdown from 15 to 0. Okay, at 0 is going to execute an API request to get the data to show into the a chart. Okay, the chart, we're not going to create a real API request, we're just going to show to emulate it. Okay, and then we're going to show some logs here as well, and a button refresh as well to refresh manually. Okay, so that would be like a very typical dashboard application. And every 15 seconds, we're going to update the data. But here, this is very typical as well. We're going to have some issues re-rendering. You will see what I'm talking about. So let's start. Okay, so the first element we're going to use is the count display. So it's going to be like this, and inside is going to be a function to show this. And then, so for this, I'm going to add some interfaces already. And so because I'm using TypeScript, if you're in JavaScript, you don't need those. Okay, just for to have a strong list type, this part actually of the function component. And here we have a console.log, so we can see what's happening behind. Okay, and let's add this this component in the view here. So here we can see, and then yes, we have second left. So this is going to be state. let's add the state second left. Here we go. We need to have this in the import at the top. Okay, so this is added at the top. Here, second to refresh. Of course, there's I created actually a constant. I like to have constant, you know, here like this, so we can change it very easily because it can be used in several places, and so I found it very convenient. Okay, let's do this. Alignment, perfect. So here we can see next refresh in 15 seconds. Okay, we can just add second for the demo, and then so here we can see that if we go to the inspect, we're going to go view the console. Let's refresh the page and we can see it here. Okay, this is added second time because of the strict, but we're not going to go through this mode here. It's not necessary today. Only this one is important for us at the moment. Okay, so now what we're going to do is to add the second component, which is going to be the sensor chart. Okay, so the sensor chart to work, we also need to do the API request. So let's add the data. Okay, so we need this useState data that use this interface data point. Okay, it's an array of ID and value. Okay, nothing really special here. And what we're going to do is to mock the API. So let's add it here. This is mock fetch data. It's a promise, and then it's going to return a data point here, and we have a 200 millisecond timeout here just to emulate an API request. You know, I think it's very common time to get data from an API, and then we return ID1, ID2 just for demo again with different random values here. Okay, so an array with just 2 elements basically. Okay, no problem. Then we're going to have the refresh data function, and here let's do this refresh data function, and we're going to have like that, like this. And in the refresh data function, we call the mock fetch data that we just previously created, and we're going to set the state variable with the new data returned by this function. No problem. And then we have the set log. So the log is going to be the next function. For now, we're going just to comment it. And we're going to set the second left to the 15 second initially, because we need to reset the timer when it loads all the data. Okay. Then we're going to have the use effect, and so in the use effect, so we need to add it in the import, and this is also a set interval, but this time every second, and is going to refresh data here. So yeah, I mean, it's going to refresh data every 15 seconds, okay? So that's normal. And then after, we're going to have this use effect with, it's going to show you the countdown from 15 to 0. No problem, this is working. Now we still haven't done the most important part, is to show the chart. Okay, so I'm not going to do the chart. It's going to be a very simple sensor chart component, and the sensor chart is just going to sensor chart is going to just show the JSON of the data on the screen. Very, very simple, okay? So let's see. So when it goes to 0, we're going to see the chart. Boom, here we go. And we're going to see the chart changing, okay? So the value here is going to change for 83 to something at the end. Different. Here we go. So it's working so far, I mean, no problem. Now we're going to add the activity logs, just another function to see more clearly what's happening. Another component. And the activity log is that one here. Okay. And the activity log is going to show you the list of logs, the 5 latest logs on the screen. So what's happening here? We have log, but here is not. So we need to uncomment this, and we're going to add also the logs here. Okay. The log use state. Here we go. Perfect. So now let's see from something clean. And to make it so easier, we're going to add a button that's just going to call the refresh data. Boom, this is working. And then the refresh button. And this. Okay, now if I click refresh, you see everything refreshing as expected, and we can see only the 5 latest logs. And this, the countdown still going down to 0, and then it's going to refresh and add the new row in the logs here. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Boom. Okay, it's working. But here we can see the problem. Okay. So this is supposed to be a quite expensive chart. Okay, it's going to render. Maybe there's some animation that's going on after a few seconds, etc. So you can imagine if you have animation in this chart, and each time here we can see every second it's re-render. So basically you will never see the completed animation, because each time we restart to draw everything. Okay, we don't need that. And why I say that? Because visually here it doesn't seem to re-render, but we can see the logs here. They are re-render the expensive operation. Okay, we can see the button, we can see the countdown. Okay, countdown is normal because and it's okay to have it. So another thing, to see those, we can use a profiler. So this is the React dev tool that I've installed. So it's an extension from on Chrome. Okay, so if I extend a bit here, we can see better. There's this gear. Okay, and here we have highlight update when component render. So you will see in real time what's happening here. We can see activity log is re-rendered, the refresh button. We can see the sensor chart, and obviously the countdown display, and the title. So I mean, for me, I believe that we can leave it like this. I believe that the title, this is okay to refresh. I mean, there's no big problem. But what is not okay is at least this chart. The logs also, because it's quite big text, and maybe the button as well, we don't need it. So let's make it using React.memo and use callback here in that case. So React.memo and useCallback are working together. Okay. So we just, it's pretty easy. Here we just need to, let's say on the chart, we're going to use React.memo here. And so it's a memorize React.memo, and we just need to close it here. So there's only one thing here, is we need also the import of React. Let's add the import here. Okay, we have React import, and we can see there's a small issue because I forgot the function here, like this. So we can see this little brain here. That means it's working. So, but it's working in a way, but it's not working in another way, because the state here is still updating. So we need React.memo, but we need also the useCallback as well. So let's do this for the other component as well before we add the useCallback. Here, and the refresh button we don't need as well. Okay, so perfect. Now we have this in sensor chart, we have this in activity log in the refresh button, and we can see the little brain here, which is good. So for the useCallback, we're going to add it in the refresh data. So my refresh data is here, and we're going to use a useCallback, which is a hook, React hooked, and of course I'm going to add it in the import again with the order, and they need a dependency array as well. So each time we want this basically. So the refresh data, okay, and then what is missing as well, in the effect, we also, in the use effect, we also need to pass the refresh data as a dependency array here. So as you can see now, we have the countdown, okay, 8, 7, and we don't have the other logs here. So that means it's working fine. When it goes to 0, we have the expensive chart that is refreshed, but it's normal because the value have changed. Okay, and this is what we want. We want also to refresh this. So perfect, and we have still a button. Let's see if the button is still working as well. Boom. Yeah. Here we go. We have the expensive chart and nothing else in the logs except the countdown rendered, which is good. So that's a 75% reduction in unnecessary work. So we really improve the performance of this application. This is a very simple one, but you can imagine like a very big dashboard with a countdown, and then it could be with component everywhere, with filter, all these things. If you don't have this kind of mechanism, trust me, it's going to be very slow. You're going to have some problems everywhere on your page. So useCallback, React.memo are very important for React optimization. Thank you. Let me know in the comment what you think about.